Thank you, Mark, and a big hello from London. Okay, so some interesting weekly patterns last week with a theme in energy in the US and the UK, plus also international oilseeds. But first, in the currencies. We had a weekly key reversal up in US dollar Indian rupee last week, if only just. And the market responded this week with a reactionary move lower. However, since that knee-jerk reaction lower, prices have moved back up, such that we are sitting at, or sometimes above, where we finished last week. We also had weekly key reversals up last week in euro against the Hungarian forint, Swiss franc against the Polish zloty, and in the US dollar against the Chilean peso. However, the response in these has been more negative, with some immediate moves lower that have stayed lower. Though Euro-Hungarian forint has, much like US dollar against the Indian rupee, has seen a recovery higher, up over last Friday's close, and seemingly is still trying to push higher still. So on to the commodities, and we had some interesting weekly patterns in energy, with weekly key reversals up in America in NYMEX WTI crude oil futures and NYMEX heating oil futures, as well as ICE Brent crude oil futures over here in the UK. There was no follow-on higher in any of these, and instead we had immediate reactionary moves lower from the start of this week in all three. However, we are still within last week's ranges in all of these, so it is not a complete reactionary move lower, though I do note that we did not have any such original weekly patterns higher in some of the other energy products, such as NYMEX RBOB futures in the US, nor in ICE gas oil futures over here. So the pressure low was not complete, and also not across the board. I cover ICE Brent crude oil futures more fully in my technical analysis commentary videos published each day. Next, we have Paris Rapeseed futures, where we had a weekly key reversal down last week, and we have seen here this week the start of a suitable follow-on lower. I cover this more fully in my weekly oilseeds and veg oils commentaries each Thursday, but suffice it to say it is now worth looking at a primary target X below in the 494.5 zone, with a secondary much harder to reach target X1 down in the 456 even zone, and an even harder to reach tertiary target X2 down in the 437 zone. These originate from the break below the September to November bull channel pattern. I have some doubts about target X1 and especially about target X2, but I felt obliged to lay those out just in case. Finally, and in a similar vein to Paris Rapeseed futures, we had a weekly key reversal down in ICE Winnipeg Canola futures last week, which has seen a more than suitable follow-on lower this week. Most interestingly here is how this action alters what was an August to October reverse head and shoulders bottom pattern into what is now an August to October reverse head and shoulders continuation pattern for the overall move lower. More on this in my weekly oilseeds and veg oils video commentaries on Thursdays. As always, I'm happy to answer any direct questions with anyone who's interested, and with that I'll finish this section from London, and I hope that you found these comments useful.
Thank you for listening. This weekly broadcast gives the essential market patterns and consequences. Please be aware of the risk disclaimer posted both at the front and at the back of this broadcast. Copyright is Eddie Tofpick and ADM Investor Service International Limited. And here comes the final important bit.